Somali Family Service is a community-based social service organization that provides culturally and linguistically appropriate programs and services to refugee and immigrant communities of San Diego. SFS promotes programs that are tailored to the needs of our community, including health, educational, economic success, and leadership development. Somali Family Services Leaders in Our Neighborhood youth program provides comprehensively enriching opportunities for youth. Through this program, youth have the opportunity to develop skills that empower them towards academic achievement, civic engagement, and personal development.
Leadership, action, and community. This is what the SFS Youth Ambassador Program entitles. Many youth, as well as myself, had the ability to become educated on the importance of substance awareness. Through the education curriculum built specifically for this ambassador program, my cohort and I were able to receive knowledge, skills, and experience to better prepare us to combat stigmas surrounding substance use in the community.
Our Lion Youth Ambassador Program is one of the key programs provided in our youth department. Our youth ambassadors advocate for increased youth and community access to Narcan at sites frequented by refugee youth. This is partnered with providing stakeholders and site managers Narcan education and training. Sites are expected to store and distribute Narcan to the communities they serve. We offer free and unlimited access to Narcan and educational material. With this collaboration, we're able to further our impact and save lives.
My perspective changed drastically ever since I started the Youth Ambassador Program because I was learning from professionals weekly about preventions and strategies to decrease overdoses.
Being part of the Youth Ambassador Program was really memorable. The trainings really made me realize how normalized the use of drugs is and the importance of why the community should be more understanding about the struggles that come with being addicted to drugs. It taught me not to turn a blind eye towards those who need help. I really enjoyed learning about Narcan, how to use it, and how useful it would be to have in hand, knowing that it could save someone's life. Advice I would give to a future ambassador is to stay engaged. The trainings will give you so much knowledge about different types of drugs, how to respond to someone who needs help, what Narcan is, and will help you become an active member in the community.
So my experience surrounding the topic of substance abuse was one of covering up its reality. It was a nightmare shielded away from communities such as my own. However, in the eyes of the community as my own, seeking help was never an option, just as airing your dirty laundry wasn't. I have a neighbor who had a son and daughter that struggled with drugs and alcohol. Their parents and elders were too worried about their reputation for them to even consider seeking help. Their health was intertwined with their family's social capital. It didn't matter if they died, so long as their family's name didn't. This is what generates a drug epidemic, the very drug epidemic plaguing our communities today. We must nurture those shattered senses of self and help them realize that they must have hope. They can get better, only if better is even an option that's presented to them. Substance abuse awareness in communities such as my own is that better.
To start a dialogue that breaks down the stigma around drug use in our communities, we need to first create a space where everyone feels safe to share. We need to bring together diverse voices, have others share personal stories of recovery.
Always be the type of person people feel comfortable talking to when they need help. We as a community need to create more education and awareness on how to start changing our language and start supporting the people struggling with addiction and substance abuse.
Peer pressure plays a role in youth abusing substance use because it makes them feel as if they are obligated into substance use in order for them to fit in or to be seen as cool and accepted by their peers. We often make the mistake of believing that although someone is pressured into substance use, that is ultimately their decision to take part, but that is not true. Peer pressure puts vulnerable youth at a disadvantage and can lead them to being put in a tough position with some sort of drugs involved at the expense of their safety.
What I would say to those who have loved ones struggling with addiction is to give them a safe space. We constantly hear about giving someone the freedom to express themselves or giving others somewhere that they feel they can talk without judgment, but we never do it right.
Peer pressure is a big factor why a lot of young kids, and especially this generation, start using. Where nowadays it's cool when you smoke, vape, or do whatever to get you high. My favorite quote is when Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the people you spend the most time with." This quote has a lot of meaning because it proves that it's so hard to stay away from drugs when it's so easy to access.
Something I would say to someone who is struggling is that, first of all, recovery is possible and there's always help available. It takes strength to reach out, and there's also a lot of people who care about your well-being. You should also consider talking to someone, whether it be a friend, a family, or even a healthcare professional. Just know that your life is valuable and you are not alone in this situation.
Help them understand that they do not have to rely on drugs to cope. You should be there for someone when they are struggling. Tell them that they are not going through this alone. You should help them understand the dangers of substance use. And lastly, you should provide them with resources for them to get help.
Attentiveness.
Togetherness.
Comfortability.
Vision.
Thriving.
Care.
Family.
United.
Motivation.
Unity.
Family.
Connection.
Inclusion.
Agreement.
Inclusivity.
Driven.
Relationships.
Unity. Opportunity.
Strength.
Support.
Communication.
Safety.
Family.